Community Services Unit, our primary focus is to work with the community to lower crime and the incidence of crime and the fear of crime. And we can use non-traditional methods, not just the arrest people, kind of thing. Part of my experience goes back to working in the schools when I was a school resource officer, and that's where all this school security came into effect. I've been to a couple of schools on school security, and one that really hit on me is this program called Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design, SEPTED for short. But in a nutshell, you use the environment to influence behavior. So when I started working at Highland East Junior High, a few years ago, I started looking at, what can I do at my school? There were some inconsistencies in how we did lockdown drills, for example. Some of the doors had their glass in them, the little glass cutouts, if you would. Some teachers had curtains in them. Some of them had cardboard, and some had nothing. And so that kind of made me think, how can we be consistent? That's when I made some phone calls and wound up talking to Greg, from Altamira. And they came out and looked at some things for us, and we kind of started that project. We started off with the windows on the outside and then worked with some of the interior windows on the classroom doors. And through time, and working at school for a few years, and I even monitored the cameras to see the effect, but once those windows got tinted, and people came into schools, you can tell they didn't acknowledge the classrooms that were around them, for example. When the tinting wasn't there, or the doors were open, of course, people, they look to noise, they look to see what's going on. So it was really cool, though, once the windows got tinted, people would come into school, and there were some classrooms, right when you walked in, they didn't even really acknowledge that there was anything there. It was nice that, the teachers know that they could see out, and which gives them, again, the advantage, and the initial advantage of, natural surveillance. You want them to be able to see as much as they can. And then, say a bad guy looking for someone would have to look harder, have to come up and mash their face into the classroom window to try to see anything, which again gives us, the good guys the advantage. I love the mirror effect, because if you say you watch people, when you walk up to a mirror, what do you see? You see yourself first, so maybe that changes your mindset or makes you reprocess what you're doing, because you're not seeing a victim or a potential victim first, you're seeing yourself.